We're jumping straight into the show now by taking a look at the company 3M. It's a technology and innovation company that employs about 84,000 people worldwide with operations in more than 65 countries. With me at the desk here is HC Shin, who is International Executive Vice President at 3M, and he's joining us to talk about the brand as well as its expansion on the African continent. HC, welcome. 3M, big company, global company, a strong brand. Give us a bit more of a picture of the operations and how you've been doing in the last few years. Not an easy time.
As you know, 3M is about $30 billion company operating globally. We have operations in over 71 countries. We are very global, very diverse. We are serving many different markets. In fact, we serve such a diverse market that we can put 3M innovation to use in almost anything that people do. About 67% of our revenue is coming from international. And 3M has been doing very well for the last few years, especially during the 2008-2009 crisis. We very successfully overcame the crisis. And now we have a new CEO, came to office, Mr. Untitled, and he's laying out some great inspirational vision for the company. So it's just an exciting time to be in 3M.
Give me a bit more of this exciting vision that he's sharing.
Right. Mr. Tulin wants to make 3M even more global and diverse and more competitive and more contemporary company. What that means is to get even closer to the customers and consumers. 3M is known for its innovation. 3M is ranked, generally speaking, about third most innovative companies in the world. What's not very well known is how ubiquitous we are. We are everywhere. Solving people's problems in their everyday lives.
Give me an example of some of the products and processes.
For example, people know Post-it as a stationary product, but it is a major productivity tool in the office. If you look at some of the abrasives and tapes products that we are supplying to aerospace industry, automotive industry, and metalworking industry, those are the consumables that can basically change the basis of competition in terms of productivity. So. In that vein, our new vision calls for 3M technology advancing every company. Just think about the boldness of the vision and 3M products enhancing every home and 3M innovation improving every life. What that means is that we'd like to make 3M even more ubiquitous, getting even closer to the customers, solving their daily and everyday problems. It's just an exciting time.
You mentioned earlier that you did very well out of the financial crisis and then you moved on. How did you do that? A lot of companies battled very hard during that crisis and indeed are worried now about things at present.
Right. I don't think there is any secret. We did perceive what's coming, probably slightly earlier than a lot of other companies. So we prepared for the eventual outcome of the downturn. What we have not done is to reduce our R&D spending. 3M lifeline is R&D, innovation. So even during that time, 2008-9 crisis, 3M did not reduce its R&D spending. As a result, we have the most amount of new product in the pipeline in the history of 3M. And when there's an upturn curve coming after 2009, we just rode the wave of the recovery. We are doing pretty much the same thing. We call this sort of mini crisis. We are not reducing R&D, we are investing in R&D, we are investing in our sales and marketing, we are investing in our geography expansion. That's the reason I'm here in South Africa to talk about Sub-Saharan Expansion.
Well, let's talk about that. They say never waste a good crisis.
Exactly right, exactly right.
And your R&D is obviously a crucial thing for a company like yours. But expansion in Africa, this is part of being ubiquitous, obviously.
Absolutely. If you look at Sub-Saharan countries, huge opportunity for 3M. You are talking about 800, probably 900 million people living in the Sub-Saharan area. So think about South Africa and SADC area, 90 million people living here. We see a huge opportunity in the continent in terms of oil and gas mining, healthcare, consumer, you name it. We have the opportunity. So we are methodically trying to penetrate into some areas like Ghana, like Nigeria. Like Kenya.
How do you go about it? Because you're the international vice president, so you're responsible for the world outside the United States. But places are different, cultures are different, business practices are different, infrastructure, electricity, water issues. Every country has its own issues. What have you learned when going into relatively uncharted territory for you?
Right, so 3M has a playbook that worked for us for 50 years. So we know how to get into the sort of frontier territory. We established a small rep office that we call it, put some people there. Pretty much our strategy is to think local and act like a local company by the people who really understand the local situation. So localization and really understanding local culture, local customers, has been the sort of secret for 3M success in international for many, many years. So we're going to do the same thing in the countries like Nigeria or Angola or Kenya.
Now, you've chosen South Africa as a jumping off point. South Africa would like to be seen as that position, but you've been in South Africa for a long time, so it's not as if you're coming new.
No, we have been here for a long time. Indeed, if you look at the neighboring countries that we call SADC countries, we see a huge opportunity in terms of oil and gas mining, especially healthcare. If you look at the amount of people here and the future of South Africa, we see this as a strategic location for investment for the future, not only for South Africa, for the entire African continent.
To what extent is it where you will export goods from other places, or you will set up factories and innovation centers and so on in those countries?
Right. This is relatively remote location from anywhere, as you know. So one of the biggest pain points that a lot of our customers have is supply chain. So what we are trying to do is to continue to invest here to make it easier for our customers to buy product from 3M. So we are investing in warehousing, we are investing in local converting and local manufacturing. So in the end, we will have self-sufficient capability to serve customers not only in South Africa, but the entire African continent.
What about the regulatory environment? Different countries have different things. We've seen in South Africa a big American company, Walmart, come in. Lots of issues around jobs and competition and prices and suppliers.
Yeah. So we are trying to change what we can, but trying to accept what we cannot. So regulatory environment, still a little cumbersome and everything else.
Is it easy to do business here? Do you find it easy?
Well, I think it can be better, but our viewpoint is the playing field is level, pretty much for everybody. So to the extent that we can understand the regulation, meet the regulation, and do the business better than our competition, I think we can win. However, going forward, if there are ways to improve some of the regulatory environment, whether it's a taxation issue, whether it's other issues, I think it will be easier for a company like 3M to continue to invest in great country of South Africa.
You talk about responding to local cultures and local that sounds like a whole research department on its own.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's almost like an anthropological approach that we do because things are really different by country, and we try to understand in depth what people are thinking and how people are doing business in different countries and adapt to the local situation.
What about Ghana? That's one of the places that you're going to. Now, what governs your choice of country and why Ghana?
Right. As you know, we have a biometric identification system. What it is the fingerprint device, including software and hardware, an entire system for authentication. So we worked with the Ministry of Finance in Ghana. They asked 3M to verify the people who are getting government pension, and their initial project, there were about 110,000 registered pensioners that they wanted us to go through the authentication. So we deployed our technology biometric identification system and ran every one of those 110,000 people through the system, and came out that there were about 35,000 fictitious names that we call ghost names in the system. So in the end, the outcome is we saved about $120 million for the government of Ghana, and that led to another project which was even bigger and bigger. So that's the type of project we are doing, not only in Ghana, but elsewhere.
Big projects like that, particularly in South Africa, I know, but elsewhere on the continent, creation of jobs?
Oh, absolutely. If 3M continues to bring its innovation and technology and local manufacturing into the continent and South Africa, it will contribute to the creation of jobs for sure.